Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room for Monday, March the 2nd. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Just doing a quick sound check, making sure everything's okay. Okay. So just give me a second here. I've got the YouTube feed is up and live again this morning. We started it on on Friday. Let me just make sure I'm doing everything correctly on that end. All right, I think it's good. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happening. So yeah, the SPY's had an incredibly rocky 24 hours really. The SPY was way up, then it was down, and now it's popping up again. I know they're trying to get some global financing going, etc. I thought maybe all of a sudden they had a cure for the virus. Not there's space. Sorry, I should look at the SPY first. Right there. So it had a little pop. So it's actually positive now. SPY is actually positive now, so let's see what happens once this market opens. So let's take a look at a couple of things that are happening here. Space, SPCE, another pop-up for space. I don't see any specific news for it, but of course it's been wildly active in the last, probably month or so. Now, APDN, I want to just see some of these virus stocks if they're still holding. APDN starting to drift a little bit here. A non-virus bio, KPTI, positive data for their drug, KPTI, massive gap up. Look at this, guys. I mean, look at that monthly chart. Lots of room to 30. Well, again, when I say that, I'm not saying it's going to get to 31, but just nice breaks here. And those rumors that have been persistent, but really we're hitting hard on Friday about Gilead and FTSE. There it is. So look at this. What a pop up for this company being bought out by GILD. See what else here. DXR, yeah, I know Martin mentioned DXR. It could be very, very crazy. I mean, look at the float, less than 1 million in the float. It is a virus play. Massive gap up, not huge volume yet. It's untradeable right now. I mean, the bid ask 14, 15, 30, so you can't trade it, but we'll have to see what happens once this market opens. Twitter, a lot of the communication stocks, these sort of social media stocks, Twitter is up, really gapping up a lot actually for Twitter. It's a big, big float, so it's a big move for Twitter, TWTR. Here's an earnings play out of China, JD. Sort of interesting. JD, earnings play, big gap up for it. Big area for it to try to get through is at 43, and then maybe there's that 50 right up here. That looks like that would be the lifetime high for JD. WVE, there's a gap down on earnings. Now this one, not very much volume yet, but if the volume picks, well, it's going to pick up for sure because it is an earnings play. It's about $1 away from a lifetime low for WVE. If this really starts to crash once this market opens, look out. RMTI. This was up, kind of chopping around a little bit. And I just see somebody is resigning, so I guess that's a good thing. I don't know if it's the CEO. Let me just do a quick check. No, just a guy resigning as a board member. Maybe he was a real activist. I don't know. Anyway, RMTI, that's the only news I could see for it. NVAX is down considering a financing. NVAX is down. This is a virus stock. Considering a financing. AHPI. Couldn't see any specific news on it. I think this is another virus stock, but it is down also. Trade of the week. It's the SMH ETF. Okay, so there's the trade of the week. Only live, I think it's something around 135 or so. It takes out 135. And that's, of course, only if the market can kind of rally. Well, you see how it bounced off the 200-day moving average on Friday, along with the Qs. Just touched it right there. An EBIX, EBIX. Let's see, this one, there's no volume, zero volume. Okay, just give me a second, please, here. Right down here. All right, I'm back. Okay, guys, what time is it now? 9:12. Let me take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades this morning. All right, so you can't see the charts. Again, now this is supposed to have been solved. Okay, you have to use Chrome as your browser. I'm going to have to go through this routine again. Chrome as your browser and disabling the hardware accelerator, okay? Before I keep going, also, my watch list up and down. The new symbol list is for this week, so you'll have to download the Windows again, new channel bar, and download from my Windows right there, okay? And remember, everything in a channel bar is a layout, so make sure you save your layout to the cloud before you do that. And then if you want, you can save these windows to the cloud, and then reload your layout, bring these windows back, and then save them again to the cloud. Then you only have to do that once for the week. But there is a new symbol list, okay? And like last week or on Friday, I'm not going to do any auto trading on my entries for my watch list, just because it was a little too whippy. And certainly I want to watch everything from the watch list, but I'm not going to do any auto trading, at least to start. I want to see how. All right, so tech support, okay, if you can find the tech support tab, you should be using Chrome as your browser, and then going down to where it says advanced, click on advanced, and then disabling the hardware accelerator, okay? Yeah, well, I'd hate to see that happen, but yeah. Okay, guys, let me just take a quick look to see what sort of upgrades and downgrades we have this morning, just out of interest to see what the analysts are thinking right now. How many upgrades? How many down? Wow, this is actually quite unbelievable. There are a ton of upgrades and hardly any downgrades. I guess the analysts are thinking, hey, okay, enough is enough. Well, from my window, right? From my channel, new channel bar, new channel bar, and then my windows, Barry's windows, and then you'll get these three. All right, let me say, there's too many upgrades. I'm going to have to just sort of cherry pick a few of them here. Some of the more popular ones, maybe. It's a huge list of upgrades from the analysts this morning. Yeah, it's too bad I just can't copy and paste this list, but it doesn't. I can't do that. I gotta just type them in individually. Just a few more upgrades to go. I mean, I haven't seen a list like this in a long time. And last but not least, Apple. Okay, let me just get some of the downgrades in now. No, 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 it's just a scan that I've got, Bosco. Just give me a second. I'll get the downgrades in and I'll show you how you can have it. It's nothing to do with the AI. Okay, there, I say very few downgrades, many upgrades this morning. Okay, that's it. Now, so no, this is just a scan that I've got, Bosco. Okay, you can have it if you can find the scans tab within the room, trading room. See where it says scans. And I have a lot of scans that I'm sharing, one of them being the pre-market actives. Or if you want, you can always click on the Room Drive icon. Looks like a half open folder. Click on that. And scans that I share, download. And the links that I talk about later on, you can download both of those. Those will go to a Word document, and then you can look at everything at your leisure. Okay? Just give me a second here. Just give me a second here. Okay, so yeah, this DXR, I mean, it's untradeable right now, guys. I mean, unless you just take, I mean, I'm looking at the bid ask 16, 1769. I mean, this thing could do something, well, it's already doing something crazy, of course. It's already up 100%. But you've got to be so careful. Super low float, terrible spread. And it's typically, I just set out the first 15 minutes anyway, just let things settle down a little bit. Okay, guys, there's the CPHI. Now, this could get interesting. I mean, obviously, it's another one of the virus stocks, I believe, anyway. Holding over $1, another fairly low float, 24 million in the float. So it's actually over Friday, and it's actually over this level here. So that's interesting. CPHI. Yeah, Trill I do see. I mean, somebody asked why is Trill up? It's a virus stock, so you know what? Trill is also up because that's the one I was thinking about. This was the other one mentioned with FTSV, I believe. That the rumors were that FTSV. Yeah, FTSV. Excuse me. I think this one was also rumored with the GILD potential buyout, or they're looking at them. This was the rumor, I believe, for Trill. Yeah, in fact, I'm just looking at it right now. Yeah, so you can see right there, Trillium up 50% pre-market on this takeout right there. So they have similar drugs. So that's the reason. Somebody asked, that's the reason. All you have to do is look at news, guys. All right, I'm going to get rid of some, get the record count down to 100 from 500. Well, once the buyout's been announced, Scott, it's over. So, you know, if it's a true buyout, there's nothing really, rumored. Wow. I have no experience. I mean, no experience. I don't gamble. I don't say, okay, I'm going to buy this because it's been a rumored buyout. I don't do that. So others might, but that's just not my style. Yeah, somebody was mentioning the HTBX. It is a super cheap one. Relatively low float, 33 million in the float. Obviously popping up here. And of course, it's a virus stock. Of course you are. They've filed some kind of a patent. All right, guys. So again, if you're new into the room and you're having difficulty seeing the bottom half of my screen, a couple things you can do. You can make sure you're using Chrome as your browser and disabling the hardware accelerator. That should clear it up. I also have the YouTube feed. The YouTube feed going. There's just no interaction, but you can certainly listen to me and see what I'm doing. Their virus stock is falling right now, pre-market. Alt. Apt was falling. The Lake was falling. See the cruisers. Well, the cruisers are trying to come back a little bit here. There's CCL. Of course, Carnival has been just beaten up horribly. Actually, had a good day on Friday. Had a little bounce back day on Friday, and let's see if it. I guess if it can take out 33.50 or so. I mean, it's $1 away. That could get it running again a little bit. Well, I can't pronounce it, but Ajagababi Investments. These penny stocks, no. I mean, you know, we're all price ranges. Yeah, this trail could get really interesting. I mean, with that buyout, FTSV buyout by Gilead, that could get very interesting. I mean, it already is, but could get more so. KPTI, guys, I mean, this is one, I mean, they've got positive data. It has not fallen yet at all in the pre-market. It's holding its own. Positive drug data. KPTI, look at the void. Look at the room it has, looking left on a monthly chart. Boy, space is just on a mission here, guys. Look at space. Up 12% right now, coming back. AMRN. The AMRN is also putting a little bit of a move here too. It's had a comeback day on Friday. I mean, it got all the way down to 13 something, and it did close up to 14. Trying to resume here. All right, market is going to open in less than 1 minute. Let's have a great start to this, well, to March, guys. Yeah. First trading day of March. So again, I typically just sit the first 15 minutes out anyway. Let things try to settle down a little bit before I hop in and do anything. I do day trade, yes, but you're going to have to follow along a little bit here, okay? Okay, guys, we're now open. Okay, KPTI taking a little bit of a drop here. You'll see that I follow my watch list, which I can explain a little bit later. I follow the AI. Okay, JD, guys, is still ripping here. This is an earnings play. Tremendous earnings play for it. China company. Yeah, we just got our first halt. AHPI just got halted. Okay, look at this little pop here for APDN out of this consolidation on the 5-minute pre-market. Nice pop here. Big volume coming in. Big volume. Look at this. Look at the relative volume. Now, it's a little skewed in the first minute, but still, this is huge relative volume. All right, now, so much for the rumor right now, Trill. Twitter still on the move, holding here. A lot of these social media stocks are doing well. NCNA, yes, you're right. NCNA just got halted also. Saw this right here. Wasn't very much volume, but look at the volume just picked up here. This when the market opened, it's got 100,000, but right there on the 71,000 just got halted. Space continues. Boy, space is just, I know a pun, but on a mission here. Look at this. So a great day on Friday coming back after being kind of blasted from that 42 all the way down to basically cut in half. Boy, Twitter. Twitter CEO pulls out of some big conference. Petition to cancel this conference. Reaches 15,000 signatures. Just reading some news right there. All right, guys, just kind of watching. This apt is sinking here, and it's got halted. It was halted too. There's a good reason. I don't like to trade that first 15. Look how whippy things can be. Space was on the move. Now it's coming back down. All right, now I mentioned CPHI in the pre-market, a cheap one, still holding over $1. I mean, this hit almost $1.50 in the pre-market. Huge volume for it, huge volume. Look at that, 5.4 million. Relatively low float. Yeah, you're right. DXR was also halted. It seems, oh, look at Fluor. My goodness, FLR guys, Fluor. I don't know, you guys know this company. This used to be an absolutely huge, huge international contracting company. You want a dam built, Fluor could do it, but wow, they had earnings on the 18th and it has not recovered. Right from there, look at this, keeps moving down. Yeah, I did see that about Twitter also. Yeah, W is also halted. W got halted, Wayfair, excuse me, on the way down. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. CPHI just got halted too. What is it stacking up to be? 119, 121. So nothing startling yet. Okay, guys, this is the one that had good positive. It's not a virus stock or whatever drug they had. The positive data, KPTI. Oh, look at space. Okay, if you want to know why I don't like to trade the first 15, this is exactly the reason. Yep, I'll miss the ones that just keep going up and up, but just seen this too many times. Okay, Bill, if you can't see my... this was supposed to have been fixed. If you can't see my screen, you have to use Chrome as your browser and then disabling the hardware accelerator and then reloading the browser, okay? Alternatively, you could go to the YouTube feed. Now, you know, I'm not a big fan of the AI taking with these early alerts. Not a big fan. Doesn't mean it's a bad trade. I just think it's, personally, I just think it's a little too early. And if you have the AI, you know what I'm talking about. There was one right at 9:35. Okay, but did you disable your hardware accelerator, Beach Dog? And then reload the browser. You have to disable the hardware accelerator. Oh, okay, let me, maybe I have to contact the developer again. I'm going to put this is what I've got, that maybe you can't, of course, if you can't see my screen, you might not be able to see the tech support tab. But this is the fix. This is the fix that has worked. Okay, well, here it is, okay? Just look down, Beach. There's the there are the instructions, okay? And conversely, you can always follow on the YouTube feed. Oops, sorry. Just get the link for the YouTube feed. Excuse me. So, okay, Saber's another one, guys. They had earnings. This is so tied in with the airline industry. This is one of the big software companies for reservations. It used to be anyway. I'm assuming they still are. Had earnings last week, just crashed. Yeah, listen, the YouTube feed is fine. If you don't care about interacting with the traders, you just want to listen to me and see the screen, that's fine. All right, I'm hearing this one, XA. Oh, okay, CPHI just opened, guys. Well, I mentioned it right here just before the halt, thinking, okay, if it can hold $1, and then unfortunately got halted on me before I could even take it. So the high looking left on that monthly chart, this is back in, excuse me, January of 2018, so it's 2 years ago, is 145. Well, that's too bad. I actually was really eyeing that one, but it's run away from me, the CPHI. There's the high in the pre-market, 145 in the pre-market. So it's trying to, and that, I believe, what did I say? Yeah, it's incredible. I can't believe that 2 years ago this is the resistance, but that's where it got to in the pre-market, 145, which is exactly the high of that monthly candle right there, the big topping tail right there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll stick an alert, 146. Again, they will get nothing in the watch list up and down. I have a purposely delay any alerts from coming in until at least 15 minutes if the market opens. It looks like it's Amex, not NASDAQ. Not too many on Amex that I see, but okay, now, okay, guys, so there was the early alert for KPTI. Now it's starting to rip. Another one halted. Yeah, we're getting a lot of halts again. Another one halted. POAI, as somebody just pointed out. If you want to track the halts, I have this right here. Halts resumes. You find the scans tab. All the scans that I'm sharing, including halts resumes, in here. Or click on that it looks like a half open folder called Room Drive. All the scans that I'm sharing right there. All right, CPHI, what are you doing? Okay, just stick an alert maybe at 145. Take out that pre-market high and that 2-year-old, a little over 2-year-old high, and maybe that'll get it really ripping again for the CPHI. I looked at, it just became shortable again at Interactive Brokers. I'm looking at Trill. All right, it's now 9:45, so just start getting some alerts here into the up and down. Again, if you want to follow along, new channel bar from the toolbar, new channel bar, and then my windows right there. Remember, everything in a channel bar is a layout. So before you do that, make sure you save your layout to the cloud. Well, is this going to be the next one to be halted? XAIR. Wow, look at this thing move. Tough spread, but and also Trib, another cheap one, Trib, TRIB. Well, this is shaping up to be a pretty good open on the halt. 314, 314 is stacking up. 298 on the halt. So I see 314, 314. Just one moment, please. Okay, one starting to really sink here. Eldorado Resorts, so casinos. I just read that in Macau, something like 87% down, which makes sense. Like for 15 days, the casinos were closed, so that makes sense. ERI, guys, look at this. Look at the room it's got. Down to 38 on that weekly chart. I'm not saying it's going to get there. The KPTI is still whippy. So it just took out the low of last week so far. ERI 46.62 looks like that was the low. Well, KPTI again, it's still pretty whippy. It just didn't briefly make a new high. And it did show up. It did show up here. So I'm not going to auto trade these anything yet. Things are just too whippy. Really? I should patent it. Okay, so if it takes out 24.45, I may hop on it, but it's at the high in the pre-market. It has not taken out the pre-market high yet. Pre-market high looks like it's around 24.76. So perhaps what I'll do is I'll stick an alert at 24.76. I'm giving up, but I mean, there's so much room still if it wants to move. This was active all last week. Paratech, PRTK, big level for it, guys. Over that very psychological 5 number. I don't know if this is a virus stock. I can't remember anymore. There's so many of them that are just popping up. I can't remember if Paratech is one of them, PRTK. Okay, Sabre still on the way down. Boy, oh boy, there's nothing holding this now. I think this is, yeah, it's an all-time low. SABR, nothing holding this. Okay, guys, the Paratech is very interesting for me now, PRTK. The fact that it's holding just over that whole number. Seems to be trying to put in a little base here. Has some room. Okay, guys, I took it. Okay, I took it, and the room is maybe to 560. I don't know if it's, I don't know how far it's going to go. I'm going to be nimble on it, though. And whole number certainly gets me out. Okay, so Dan, you have to be using Chrome. You should be using Chrome as your browser, and then disabling the hardware accelerator. I'm just going to pop that in here underneath where you posted. Here are the instructions. Okay. And then do a refresh once you've disabled the hardware accelerator. All right, just kind of keeping an eye on the Paratech to see if it has any sort of a move in it. Yeah, so that was a 10-minute halt. Wow, that didn't. Briefly, it was free, so it did pop up, but you had to be quick. Not refresh. So, did you actually close the browser down and then reload? Yeah, you have to. Now close your browser and reopen. Just like at the last sentence, close your browser and reopen, not a refresh. Okay, what do we got here for the BCRX? Okay, the BCRX, let's say the high in the pre-market was 340, so there's a little bit of room there. Okay, so I did take some out at 525. I don't trust any of these little ones yet at all. I mean, I have to Still a little bit early too. So I took some out at 525. And it's actually going almost right back down to where I bought it. And now I'm out everything now. Yeah, I'm out of it all now. Yeah, so the short-lived pop. However, I will watch it again. Excuse me, I'll watch it again. See if it can come back. All right, now WVE is actually an earnings play. Okay, there's the BCRX now starting to move a little bit. Again, I'd be quick. I'd be nimble and quick today, guys. I wouldn't hang around anything too long. What makes symbols, you mean in the up and down or here or overall? Here, filters are in place that extract. I have a big watch list and I don't know how many stocks are in it, maybe 30 or 40 stocks. Excuse me. But there are filters in place which, obviously prevent them all from showing. Don't want that. So again, there are certain filters I have here. So the stock has to meet those filter requirements, and that's why they show up. MK, do you have our product? Do you have trade ideas? Okay. Well, one of them is, without giving everything away, but one of them is they have to be above yesterday, so Friday's high. So the day before has to be above Friday's high in this particular case. Certain volume, has to be a certain amount of volume and trading at least somewhat abnormally in terms of volume too. But if you look at all of them, they're all going to be above the high of Friday. Well, I didn't take this one, BCRX, but it looks okay. This is what I see, though. I see maybe some pretty tough resistance not that far away for BCRX. But if it can break through this, I guess this is a virus stock. I can't remember anymore. I have to freely admit, I have no idea. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a virus stock, BCRX. Oh man, meanwhile, look at the Smile Club, SDC. Had a little rally on Thursday and Friday, little one, and now it continues down. Almost at the lows of Thursday and Friday, takes that out. Who knows? I mean, there's no support, lifetime low. Had earnings this day here on Wednesday. Just got trashed. Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of investors smiling on that one. Boy, this one is just ripping still. XAIR did not get halted. Again, I can't remember if this is an IPO. Maybe this is an IPO here or a symbol name change. I'm not 100% sure. And the spread, I mean, listen, I've seen worse. Yeah, about 14 cents, 7 cents, 7 to 14 cents. Look at all these topping tails though. On the 5-minute chart, the 2 on the 15. So again, the buyers have been trying to bring it up, but the sellers have been knocking it down a couple of times anyway on the 15-minute chart. All right, let me take a look at some of these, see if how they're moving. All right, so this KPTI, I mean, it has news on its own. It's not a virus play. Sabre is a really slow mover. That happened on Friday too. I think I was in this one. I can't remember if this is one I was in a couple of times, but a very, very slow mover. And indicative of a large float, 273 million in the float. So one of the reasons it does that. This is an earnings play, guys. Saw it in the pre-market. There was no volume at all. WSC. WSC. It is an earnings play. Look at the bottoming tail on it. Look at that. So we got down to 16 something. Look at that bottoming tail on the daily. Obviously, if it can maintain, it has room. Yeah, Sabre's now actually more than inching down now. Is it a merger too? Combines with Mobile Mini, an all-share deal. Yeah, you're right. Didn't see that. I'm keeping an eye on some of the AI alerts. Okay, so yeah, we start getting our data at 7 in the morning Eastern time. So I do recognize that KPTI could have been trading before then, and somebody mentioned it was a high of 2470 or so. There it goes, guys. Can it maintain 2450? And then I'm talking about the KPTI. So far, no. So far, not yet. Still very whippy. Oh my gosh. Look how whippy that is. I almost took it. I wanted to take it over 2445, but it's just still too whippy. Meanwhile, Sabre, I guess I should have hopped on this one. It is moving down a little more more than it did on Friday when it. I know I got in this one, and it just penny by penny, it was agonizing to watch it. Yeah, I'm shying off that KPTI. It's just too whippy. If it takes out the pre-market high, I may. Oh, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. You're right. The pre-market is 24.73. I don't know what I was thinking. 24/7. I have my alert set up here, so takes it out later. Maybe I'll get involved, but right now it's just too whippy. Yeah, bias is still short, guys. I mean, the market now. Oops, what's the SPY doing right now? So the SPY has now gone back to negative territory. Now the little glimmer of hope right here. Look at Sabre. Holy smokes. Smile Direct Sabre just in lifetime lows. All right. I'm actually going to try to short this WVE. I just don't know if I'll get it. The uptick rule is in effect, of course. It's down more than 10%. Yeah, I'm not hanging around. I've had it in there at 7:34 for almost a minute now, and it's not filling me, so. Yeah, just I mean, it doesn't really look as bad if you're, but the problem is for the KPTI, I think if it can take out that high up here, but it just doesn't look that good right now, KPTI. Definitely my bias is shorting. No question about that. Oh, the Sabre almost got through 13. I'm not in this one. Boy, here's another one. YRCW, another lifetime low. Shipper. We are live YouTube, yes. Okay, so this is a little. Is this right? I thought this was a cannabis play again, or maybe I'm AQB. Aqua Bounty doesn't sound like it anymore. The BCRX guys, I just don't like it that much anyway because of this all this potential resistance right around here. It's not that far away. So I've only taken the one quick trade of the Paratech, and that's it. And it had really no continuation. All right, so Boulder, or Builder's First Choice, BLDR, trying to make a little bit of a move here. I mean, it has lots of room, but geez, in this market, I don't know. I mean, obviously the VSTM, if it can take out 3, I'm going to stick an alert just around 299 for VSTM. See if it can take that out later on. Ooh, nice. How's Trill doing right now? Did it hold 6? All right, so Trill is holding 6. Again, this is the rumor play with GILD, who did take out FTSV. Okay, guys, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Look at that. Keep an eye on that Trill, guys. TRIL. The longer it holds, I mean, it's a complete rumor play. Complete. There's the VSTM challenging 3. All right, and I see the SPY has just gone mildly positive again. Yeah, good, Daniel. Glad to hear that. We still had some problems with some people this morning, but So the high last week for for VSTM was, it's right at the same high, 293. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing. I was trying to get that WVE. I think it was at 734. I was trying to get it. I held it there at a minute. They wouldn't fill me. It may not be that dynamic. It is an earnings play. Okay, this is an earnings play. Core, not very much volume. CORE. This is an earnings play. I mean, I guess it has some room. Weekly chart, 31. I forgot to mention this one in the pre-market. This is an earnings play. EQX is a gold play. I typically don't trade the precious metals, but it is an earnings play, so it's possible. And the reason I don't is I just don't like trading stocks that are so tied into the sector usually. But it is an earnings play, so it's very possible that it can trade on its own. I mean, it's up 9%, not huge volume, but it's got a lot of room. And that's the EQX. All right, guys. Well, things are really settled down for me. I'm hardly getting any more alerts. So I'm just going to now start watching, see if I can see some fairly decent setup. So Wendy's had earnings on the 26th. And just got crushed here and here and here. So where's the support for Wendy's? 1791. So it's not that far away. That's too bad. I wish it were further away. Aha, AHPI actually got halted on the way up. AHPI just got halted. Okay, mRNA is having a great day after a lot of whip in this one. Another virus stock, mRNA. One got as high as 30, a little over 36 last week. All right. What is Paratech doing now? I notice it dipped down below 5, but it's trying to come back a little bit here. Might get interested in it again if it hits 516 or so. Let's see if it does that. Bit of a pullback or a comeback. Ah, I missed it. Yeah, I was mentioning this one. It looked like it was holding 6 trill. Definitely keep an eye on the VSTM. It keeps challenging that 3 level. You can just look at it on that monthly chart. It does have room if it can just crack that 3 level. So I'm looking at all the AI alerts this morning. So far, nothing's really shaking, guys. You know, not on the short side, not on the long side. Okay, guys, there's the VSTM. It is getting close to a 3 break. Yeah, somebody just mentioned this was going to get halted, and it just did. IFRX, lots of halts. Boy, we're in halt season. Never mind earnings season, we're in halt season. Boy, look, I mean, look at the room this one's got. So I'm seeing 525, 525 stacking up. So far, nothing great. When I say that, I'm just looking at my time and sales right here. So if you got into this one before the halt, of course, what you want to see is like 560, 560, and something like that. I thought it was always 10%. Oh, I thought it was always 10%. Okay. All right, now this little CPHI that got halted also, got up to 140 odd. It's trying to come back a little bit. Meanwhile, Foot Locker had earnings last week, and it is starting to sink here. Foot Locker, FL. No, you got to be careful here. I mean, so far now we've actually experienced a little bit of whippiness in the SPY even. I mean, you know, this the pre-market popped and then it came back. SPY was positive there, but we're just seeing some chop. Now, the only thing is we are seeing lower highs on the 5-minute, so this doesn't look good for the SPY, but it's still kind of chopping a bit. Well, it certainly did that last week too, but the difference is that it never went positive in terms of the SPY swings. down 800, then down 200. So there's a 600 point swing, and then down 500, there's a 300 point swing. It never got positive. That's the big difference. I almost feel like shorting this KPTI. I'd like to have a little more faith in this VSTM. I mean, it's let's see if I can get to say a bid of 305, clear 3, a bid of 305. That might get me interested. Remember, we were talking about this NH on Friday, one of the very, very few companies that release earnings after markets close on a Friday afternoon. So they did, moving down, NH. Well, that was a good halt then for this one. Yeah. Well, look at this IFRX. When I say good halt, I mean it obviously popped after the halt. Another low float, 15 million in the float. But look at that. I mean, look what it. Got to be so careful, guys. I make jokes about this. You can't get into these things and go and walk the dog and expect to come back and. Oh, well, it halted at 5, so it'll probably be 10 when I come back. I mean, just look at these, how whippy they are. I'm talking about the IFRX. This is not a virus stock either. They actually have something else they're doing. And they actually made that announcement here. If you look at the news right there. So had an announcement on the 26th. Nothing to do with the virus. Well done, Martin. You're looks like it's going to work for you. Well, I'm just looking at my watch list. Really, nothing much happened. And nothing really happening from the AI. All right. Okay. What are you going to do? GNCA. Another one that is popping up here. GNCA. I'm starting to watch my Momo up and down a little bit more. Another low float. 26 million in the float. Well, liked it last week. Oh, Jazz. You mean the AI? I can't really remember anymore. Had a couple of okay ones. My watch list was great last week. Well, keep an eye on the GNCA, I guess, guys. I mean, it looks like it wants to take out two. There it did. Just took it. GNCA just took out two. Let's back this monthly chart out to see what sort of room. It obviously has a ton of room. Not that much room on the weekly. I mean, look at the potential resistance on the weekly chart, right around 218, 220. Yeah, no, I have no problem, Erwin. How I actually create the watch list. So what happens is this. I mean, if okay, I have a watch list for today, and it probably has 30 or 40 symbols in it. So what'll happen is I will take a look. These are the ones that have triggered from the watch list. You know, I don't want 30 or 40 triggering. So I put some filters in place to only allow what I guess what I'm going to consider quote unquote the good ones from the watch list that get triggered. But at the end of today, once the market closes, I will look at every single stock that is in the watch list, and I'll load them one by one into the charts, and I'll check the daily, weekly, and monthly charts. If I think a stock still has some room, normally, and when I say that, most of the stocks that are on here, let's take a look, like Sabre as an example. Obviously, Sabre, there's no support. It's a lifetime low, so in theory, it has room to go to zero if it wants to. So that's what I mean. A stock has room to keep moving in the same direction. So that's sort of obviously a judgment that I make once I load a symbol, and I again check the daily, weekly, monthly. So some symbols that are on today's watch list will also make it into tomorrow's watch list. They'll be carried forward. And then I have some scans that I look at after hours and really running through the same thing, clicking on the symbols one by one and seeing what sort of room they still have. Obviously, these are stocks that probably moved today. Do I think they still have some room? So another determination. And so that basically is how the watch list is created. Of course, you don't have to do anything. You just have to load it right from new, channel bar, and my windows. And then you just wait and see which ones actually get then triggered from the watch list. But they're all designed, most of them are designed so that there is room, not just for a day trade, but potential multi-day holds. It's up to you. It's up to obviously the individual whether you want to do that or not, but and some days, it's spectacular. Some days it's good. Today it's just, I would call it very, very mediocre. I mean, there's really not that much. You had to be quick. I mean, some of them worked for a little bit, but I mean, I just don't have any trust going long anything right now. I mean, the virus plays obviously going long last week was okay, but even then, I mean, they're so whippy. Most of them are very, very low floats. So all of a sudden, some news comes out that, hey, The virus isn't spreading as badly as we thought. So all of a sudden, all the virus stocks go down. So you're really at the whim and mercy of news flashes coming at you. So again, guys, I mean, I joke about it, but I mean, look what the IFRX did. I mean, it popped up right up to what, 621. It's dropped dropped all the way down to almost 5. Those are huge percentage moves. I missed, I wanted to get the VSTM at 305 and I missed it. I don't feel like I want to chase it. I know it's only 4 cents above or 5 cents above, but all right, and actually it's at 10:36, so this is typically what I do at 10:30 is I go over a lot of my scans and the links and sugar. Well, if you guys were watching it, I wanted to take it at 305, but well, we'll see how well it moves from here. So if you're new to the room, welcome to the room. This is the format every single day. I'm live on the mic and sharing my screen from 9 to 3 o'clock Eastern Time, Monday to Friday. If for some reason you can't see the bottom half of my screen, you should be using Chrome as your browser and disabling the hardware accelerator. If you don't know how to do that, if you can find the tech support tab, and right at the top, there is basically an explanation of how to do it, all right? Now I'm going to go over some of the links here. And I'm going to go over in a lot more detail what the AI and Brokerage Plus is all about. But first we'll talk about the training. So the training has been revamped. And it is Monday to Friday at noon Eastern, noon to 1 Eastern time. And it is live Q&A session. Webinars, Monday to Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern time. They are all archived. You should have the latest beta of Trade Ideas. If you click on that link right there, we're brought to this page. And scroll down until you see the beta. You'll know if you have the beta or not. If you don't see a buy and short button in your chart, that means you don't have the latest beta, okay? I do a daily video between 1:15 and 1:45 every day. Trade of the week is sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. Let's see what it's doing. It was SMH. Yeah, I don't think it triggered. I think it had to 135 or something. Anyway, that is a trade of the week. Next test drive. You click on that link. So we just finished our test drive a couple of weeks ago, and we do them 4 times a year. If you want to get notified when the next one is going to happen, it'll be probably about 2.5 months from now. If you fill this out, and then you'll get an email with the exact date at when it starts. Basically, what it allows you to do for $8.99, you'll have access to our full premium package for up to 10 trading days. All right, and we had a huge turnout last time. Over 2,000 people signed up. Subscriptions. If you'd like to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, you can click on that link right there. And there is a 15% promo code that you can use, Barry4 Alpha. And this is what Trade Ideas will cost. So the big plan is the premium annual plan. And $22.68 a year minus the 15%. Or the standard, $10.68 a year minus that 15%. The huge difference is the AI and the ability to auto trade anything. And I'm going to go over all this. Of course, you don't have to start off with an annual plan or even premium. You can always try us out for a month, standard monthly, 118 less the 15%, or the premium, 228 less the 15%. If you decide that you really like it and you want to upgrade, say from standard to premium or from a monthly to a yearly, you can do so and we'll honor that 15% promo code. Also in the subscriptions tab, at the bottom here, we have 4 ebooks now. All right, these bottom 3 are all swing trading setups. And this top one, kind of an interesting book, explains about what earnings season is all about. So these are all free and all developed by Trade Ideas. I do have a Twitter account at @bbruin44. And I always say this, it's only stocks, guys. That's all I talk about. And now I'm going to go over the AI and Brokerage Plus. Okay, so Tone, if your screen is not clear, it's got nothing to do with our beta or anything like that, okay? You should be using Chrome as your browser and disabling the hardware accelerator. And then close the browser and reopen it. Okay, so I'm just putting that instructions underneath again. So Tone, just look underneath, okay? Just give me a second here. I want to see if the developer has got back to me. No. All right, so this is what the AI is all about, okay? So basically what happens is this. The AI waits for the market to close. So we'll wait for the market to close today, and so that it has access to the latest market data. And we have what we call 50. Look at Boulder. Boulder's actually moving pretty well from that watch list, guys. 25.54, 23.78 now. That's not bad. Killed me not to get that at 305. Nice pop right up to 325. Would have been a nice little percentage move. Still might have some room in it, the VSTM. Anyway, I'm diverting myself and telling you what the AI is all about. So what we have is 50 baseline strategies that get optimized every day once the market closes. Now this is not one of them, but if it were, the AI takes a look at all the filters that are in place. The AI strategies have way more filters and starts making adjustments to the filter values, maybe takes a filter out, adds one in, runs our back tester, and seeing if, what happens to the win percentage and the profit factor. It's called an optimization procedure. Typically, a strategy to make out of the 50 strategies that goes through, they run through the optimization procedure. The ones that make the cut typically have to have a profit factor of about 2 and a win percentage of at least 60. Okay, so consequently, we don't know which strategies are going to make the cut tomorrow. Personally, I don't really care about the strategies that made the cut. All I care about is seeing what alerts happen from the strategies. And so all you have to do, if you're a premium subscriber, you're doing this now. But some people, maybe still are loading it from the channel bar. You can do that. The Omni AI channel. My suggestion, though, is that you would click on New and AI/Holly Strategy Trades window. And then this window will pop up. If you don't see all of the trades, then right-click, Segments, All. Then you'll see all the trades as they come in during the day. And, of course, with the AI, there's nothing for you to do. The trade, you'll get alerted to the trade. There's a stop price. And, you manage the trade on your own. It's a great watch list for the day. Sometimes, the alert is a little early. Look at Boulder. Nicely done. Okay, so that's basically the AI. And now this is Brokerage Plus. This is the Brokerage Plus window. Everything I'm saying right now is part of the standard service. Okay, everything I'm going to say right now is part of the standard service. I'll let you know when you have to have our premium service, with regards to Brokerage Plus. And it's also, what I'm talking about right now is simulated trading. This is a very, very good simulator. So if you're new to trading, you can practice trading using our simulator. Now, if you have an Interactive Brokers account, you can trade your Interactive Brokers account using Brokerage Plus. Okay, I'm going to concentrate just on the simulator right now. All you have to do is just connect it. So in its simplest form, and you, by the way, you load it from here, new Brokerage Plus. And all these headings that you see here, if you right click on any one of them, you'll have some as default. Here are all the headings that you can have. Okay, I can't tell you which ones to use. These are the headings that I'm using. And also these tabs here, you see, from new within Brokerage Plus, new, and here are the tabs that you can use. So in its simplest form, if I click on an alert, Boulder, you see the symbol right there. There's a number of shares. You can pick how many shares you want and the market, what price you want to get in at. If you're shorting, you sell. If you're going long, you buy. And these are hotkeys. Flatten gets you out of your position. Half, get out half. Double is your position. Reverse. So let's say you took a short, now you want to go long, or you took a long, you want to go short. You can reverse your position with just a click. So that is sort of the simplest way to use it. However, there's a better way, in my opinion, and what you should do is set up what we call one-click trading. So again, you see Boulder. Now you go back to the symbol, you right-click on it, and you see where it says Trade. So you can set up your own buying and shorting options, parameters, okay? So in other words, you just pick how you want to trade it. When you pick how you want to trade it, you click on it, and it gets instantly traded, okay? Now you can set up your own, of course, and I'll show you how to do that. You go to the Strategies tab, and you right-click. Wait a minute. There we go. Had to click on it. Click on the Strategies tab. Yeah, KPTI is coming back. It is coming back. Maybe now's the time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. So right-click and New Trading Strategy. And you give it a name. Is it a long or a short? And these tabs here, you can fill in as much information as you want. I'm going to go over what I do for my watch list up. Okay? So if I right-click on it, edit the trading strategy. So remember I was saying how nothing will trigger until 9:45. That's just a slider. So I've set it at 9:45. Order details and risk management, they go hand in hand. That determines how many shares you will take. So order details, you see where it says position sizing, I'm basing it on a stop loss. And that $100, what that means is if the trade goes against me, I don't want to lose more than $100. That's what I'm prepared to risk per trade. That's in the simulator. This 10 cents down here, what that means is if I get an alert for Boulder at 23.54, even though, and I'm going to show you how you can actually auto trade the entries, even though if you're auto trading, in theory, you'd think, well, it should take it right at 23.54, but the stock might be moving fast. So how far outside of that 23.54 are you willing to go? So that's what that 10 cents is doing. It really does that. It really goes way, 10 cents above. But in other words, I would take that trade right up to 23.64. Okay, so that's what that 10 cent offset means. The risk management, I'm using a stop loss and I'm using the filter. And We have a lot of filters that you can use, okay? Now this is a special one that I'm using. It's not available for you, but you can try the Smart Stop. Smart Stop in dollars, or you can pick, don't ask me to explain any of the other ones, okay? I mean, some of them are obvious, but anyway, you can try the Smart Stop in dollars. And this is, you don't, I mean, it's generated by the system, the Smart Stop. So when you put a stop in and you say $100 risk, that determines how many shares you'll take. So let me do one. Let me take this trade right here. Okay, so you see it took the trade. And it took 435 shares. Why did it do that? Because if you take the stop and the entry price and you subtract those two and you multiply by $435, you'll get very close to $100. Okay? Now let's see what it looks like on the chart. And you'll notice now it's 110, but I mean that's just the way it, statistically, that's just the way it worked out. But you see how there's the stop right on the chart. Okay. So if the trade, and it's starting to work here, if the trade starts working, or you can always at any point adjust your stop. You can just move it up and down right on the chart. Okay. So let's move it there. That makes a little more sense. You know, on a 5-minute chart, if it took that out, maybe that's a bit of a support area. So you can move it there. You can also use it like a trailing stop. You know, again, the trade starts to work for you. You just keep moving your stop up right in the chart. I think it's a better idea than just putting in an arbitrary trailing stop. You know, of whatever, 2%, 1%, 10, whatever that is. You know, to me it makes more sense to put a stop on the chart where there looks like there's some support, so that if it went through that support area, you know, that would be, then you get stopped out. There are plans, Sean. We are working with E-Trade, but after that, I don't really know. Okay, I really, you know, we obviously we'd like. I mean, there are plans. Yes, I mean, to answer your question in the general sense, there are plans. It's not that we just, you know, magically press a button and then it's not that we don't want. We'd love to integrate with every broker, but there's a cost involved, and so anyway, that's. But there are plans. Yes. Yeah, you can enter. I mean, you can enter. So, for instance, if I just wanted to trade, say I wanted to trade INSW, okay. So I'm gonna now in the pure manual way. So let's just say I want to take 200 shares. And what's the spread? I mean, this is just for demonstration purposes, of course, so I'm just going to buy it. Okay? So I just bought it. Now, I can put a stop. Let's say I wanted to put a stop at $20. Okay, so I just take 20 in there, 20 in here, and sell. Okay, so there's the stop right there. Just put it right on the chart. You see that? So I manually put that. Now, of course, the same thing. I can move it up and down. Yeah. Well, I did you see what I did? So I mean, you don't have to. You can always pick the number of shares you want. Well, I did. I mean, there's no other way. If you don't have a stop in place at the beginning, you know, there's no other way that it's going to be able to. I mean, you'd have to do some you know, call it quick math, if you will. I mean that's why the auto that's why you know the one click trading is you know makes it very simple, and you can set up different ways to do it. Yeah, that's not available yet. Yeah, because you can't set a price. You know, it's not going to know. I mean, you know, I mean, you can do it if you always wanted to take a stop 20 cents away or 10 cents away, or you know, but that's not based on that's not based on a stop. I'm sorry, that's not based on the chart. Of course, you're. I mean, there's the filter. So I mean, you can base it on a percentage below or dollars below. Okay, but then you're not really basing it on what you see on the chart, of course. Just one moment, please. I mean, obviously, on that one, I mean, you'd have to do some quick math. That's all. So I mean, if I know, obviously the math is pretty simple here. If I have a stop at $20 or whatever the example I used, and the stock's at 20, say 2020, so it's a 20-cent stop. If I'm willing to risk $100 a trade, then I know it's 500 shares. Okay. So you'd have to do, I mean, that's what the one click trading, of course, kind of solves, but I do get it. I do know what you're saying. You don't want to base it on an R smart stop. You want to base it on where you think you'd like to place it based on the chart. So in that case, you'd have to do some quick math. And depending how fast the stock is moving, I mean, it may not be that big a deal. Hey, no problem. So now the SPY is rallying. Yes, the SPY is now rallying, isn't it? Again. So now some of these long plays, if we can get the SPY just to keep doing this, trending for a little bit, even just give us an hour, then maybe, we can get some nice trending plays. So anyway, I'm just going to get out of these. I mean, I was just using them as a. So I just flattened those two. Okay, now VSTM guys is still looking interesting. So well, I mean, you can appreciate, it's though. Look at that. I mean, it did get down under 3. It's difficult for me to concentrate on trading. Obviously, running a room like this, answering questions. I mean, I'm absolutely happy to do it, but sometimes I'm just going to miss things. Well, of course, you're talking interactive brokers. I mean, we don't have hotkeys. I mean, these are the only hotkeys we have within Brokerage Plus. So I mean, I programming hotkeys on DAS and linking that to Interactive Brokers. That's got nothing to do with us. If that makes sense. I mean, these are the only hotkeys you can use within Brokerage Plus. No, we don't do futures. No e-minis, nothing. It's just stocks. This is just stocks. Our whole platform is based on scanning for stocks. Well, our okay. Are you talking about like simulation? I mean, our simulator is self-contained. Okay, our simulator is self-contained. It's using our real-time data. Okay, so it's not a matter of using Brokerage Plus or IB's demo anymore. It's based and it's real and it's I'm using the term now more often. It's real world. Not only is it real time, and when you get an alert that is real time, but it's also real world. As I was trying to explain, even if you're auto trading entries, so in theory, getting the trade as fast as humanly possible, you may not get it right at 2018 still, because it depends how if the stock is moving quickly. So our system is real world because it'll tell you, well, you know what, you couldn't get that trade at 2018. You got it at 2020. That's what I was when I was talking about the offset. That's what that offset is all about. Because even if you're auto trading an entry, you may not be able to get it right at that alert price. So I'm not saying you can't use like Interactive Brokers but I mean we don't really support that at all anymore in terms of using it as a simulator. Ah, sugar in the morning. VSTM again ran from me. This could be a really interesting one, guys. I mean, it's got a ton of room on that monthly chart. Again, I'm not saying it's going to get to 10. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're wondering again how my watch list is created, I mean, it's because there are the potential moves that can take place. All right, guys, I'm going to give me a couple of minutes. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Just have to get some more water, fill up my jug. All right, guys, I'm back. That KPTI is still whippy, man. It just doesn't want to make up its mind to keep going. All right, so everything I described, I should continue on with the Brokerage Plus and all. Everything I described, part of the standard service, all right? So if you want to simulated trading, everything I did, and if you want to connect to your IB account, you can trade your IB account, okay? Now, where you will need our premium service. Now, I haven't been doing this. I didn't do it the last couple of days, last week. Typically what I do is I turn on my my strategies. Okay, right there. I've got my watch list up and down. So I would be auto trading the entries. That's what I've been doing up until the last 2 days last week. Things were just too whippy. So I decided to turn them off, but all I have to do is strategy disabled. I click and I turn it on. And I turn them on. The minute you do that, if you want to auto trade your entries, you know, it doesn't have to be just, obviously just my alert windows. If you create an alert window of your own and you want to auto trade your entries, then you need our premium service, okay? Now, first of all, how would you do that? One of the things, in order to get, and I went over creating your own trading strategy, new trading strategy, giving it a name. But for instance, if you wanted to auto trade my alert windows or an alert window that you created, then first step is you would have to save the window to the cloud. So right click, save, save. Okay, so it is now in the cloud. And then get into the strategies tab and you right click and see where it says load from the cloud. You load from the cloud and then you just find it, highlight it, and load it. That's why these are appearing here. Then you still have to go through the same exercise though of creating the strategy. Like you have to create your strategy, how you want to trade it. The fact that it is here, now you have to still go edit trading strategy and then creating your rules for trading. And you don't have to do that once, okay? Once you do that, then you just turn the strategy on, and then it'll just auto trade for you. You need our premium service for that. And then one additional, if you wanted to auto trade the AI, there's a pretty good one actually. There's that WSC 1760, 1705 right now. Excuse me. If you wanted to auto trade these entries, you need our premium service plus a one-time licensing fee for Brokerage Plus, which is $1,100 minus whatever appropriate discount. So that right now that'd be $1,100 minus 15%, 15. And as I say, it's a lifetime licensing fee. What does that mean? That means if you decide that you want to stop trading for a while, so you stop a subscription to Trade Ideas, and then you come back, Brokerage Plus is waiting there for you. Okay, so you can, if you wanted to auto trade the entries of the AI. So to sum up though, if you don't care about auto trading at all, you just need our standard service, and you can use our simulator, you can connect to your IB account and trade using Brokerage Plus. If you do want to auto trade anything, you do need our premium service. It might be. I know for me anyway, I have no shorts available for iBio at Interactive Brokers, but now the other thing to talk about is trading right from the chart. Now you see we do have these. If you don't have these, and again, this is all part of the standard service, so you don't have a buy and short button, or sell button on your chart, then please make sure you download the latest beta, which is available right here. If you click on the subscriptions tab, and where it says download TI Pro or beta, click on that. You'll be brought to this page, and then just scroll down until you see the beta, okay? So how does that work? Buying or selling right from the chart. So the same kind of thing. You set up a strategy ahead of time. And I'm calling this one like chart long. I mean, that's just the name of it, okay? But you could take any one of your long strategies that you have, and you could say, okay, I want to use this strategy to chart trade. And how do you do that is I'm going to pick this one. You see where it says default chart long strategy, just check it. So I've checked that one, but if I went up here, I could set this one as the default long strategy, chart long strategy. But I've created a strategy from here. Here's my, and it's very similar to my watch list up. Okay, very, very similar in terms of the order details. And then all I have to do is I go to the chart. So let's just say let's take another one, IVII. So let's say I want to trade this one. I'll click on the buy button. Now, I got a little, what I should have done is I should have dragged it down, but I can drag it down now and it'll take the trade. And it put the stop in. Okay, it put the stop in just like before. So that's how you can trade right from the chart. What I should have done is, I released my the mouse. I should have dragged it down to where I wanted, but no big deal. I mean, basically, then I just adjusted it. I just adjusted it down, and that's why I took the trade. Yeah, the magic 300 again. Okay, and of course, the same sort of thing. If the trade starts working well, it blew past where I was going to get it. There's KPTI. Now it did just take out the. It just excuse me, on that candle there, it just took out the pre-market high, KPTI. And some great volume that came in. Now it's starting to run. But you had to withstand all this whip. Now, for whatever reason, said, okay, now we're going to run. Of course, the market, I don't think the market is really not affecting this one. I mean, this is trading on its own now. Now it's whipping. Geez, too bad. For me anyway, too bad. So, I mean, there it is now. I mean, yeah, this would not have been an easy trade. Obviously, you'd have had to, if you took it and you held on. So this is what the aggressive prophet is saying. If you had held on to it, you'd be up 7.5%. The moderate is the same. So unless the stock actually hits the stop at any point, these two will look the same. This is basically what would happen if I held the stock and didn't get out when the AI got out. And you'll see this right to the end of the day. Yeah, now we're going to start to see some nice trending longs based on what the SPY is doing. Vicky, are you in the room? Keep an eye on this ELA, guys. What's the volume like? I don't. This is a crazy one. I don't know what the situation. Okay, let's see here. That's going back. So this obviously had a name change or something. Oh, keep an eye on Trill now. I mean, Trill takes out six. This could really be devastating for it. It looked like it was trying to it had a nice bounce, but TRIL, of course, it's got it's still up 97 cents, 20%. All right, now this is beaten up stock. Wes trying to come back. Beaten up stock in the energy sector. Had earnings on the 27th. It was already fading way before then. It was a lifetime low right down here for Wes. Trying to come back right now, maybe in this market rally. Mr. Real. So why I mentioned this? We're still testing this AI segment, less than $20. So you can see this one. I mean, I wish I could just pay a little more attention to these. But anyway, 1216, 1240, 1255 for the PAM. This is why I mentioned the ELA. So keep an eye on the ELA. I mean, if it can bounce off that three. Well, I'm not. I'm talking now, Michael. I wasn't talking right then. BLDR, guys. BLDR. Let's see if this has. That's a little pullback right there. Not much, only about a 20-cent pullback. Let's see if it has some continuation with this rally. BLDR. West guys is having a nice rally here now. WES. Let's see what the so everything is positive right now. Every sector is positive except for the oil services, and it's just barely negative. But as would be expected, gold is starting to drift down now as the market rallies. But you know, still, I mean, look at XOP, OIH, where's XLE? Certainly not at the top here. Now again, this was just a practice one on the IIVI. This was just to show you how you can create stops or how you can create one-click trading. So for fun, I will turn it on now. I will turn this on, these two on, and see what happens. Okay, I just turned the auto trading on for my watch list, up and down. And I always talk about auto trading the entries. I do not let the system take me out, okay? I don't put artificial hold periods. I manage the exits on my own. Oh man, well there goes the KPTI. Completely run away now. Was difficult though, guys. I mean, it looks great there, 24.45, almost a $2 pop, but let's face it, it was really choppy for a long time. Okay, let me answer your question. And welcome, yeah, welcome from Italy. Yeah, cool. Account builder on fire. I'll take a look at that. Where is it? I've obviously gone by it. Oh, account builder. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's account builder. Well, yeah, so you just have to hover over it. So this isn't just a new high. This is just a new high in the ask, a new high in the bid. Okay, I mean that's all. That's all it is. What else did you ask? It's just the type of trade. So this is a high. All you have to do is just, if you hover over it, it says new high bid. This is just a new high. You know, so if you click on this, there's a new high. Okay. All you really have to do is just right click on the window, configure, and summary, and there, there's a description of what you're looking at. Okay? Okay, Jeff? Okay. That's too bad on the KPTI. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe that pop right there. But even then, right after that, it dipped down again. But it's now it's it's just run away. Ooh, yeah, Kindi. Kindi halted on the way down. Well, will this hold? I see the Dow's up 500. Will this hold? Okay, so you notice that that's what happened on the Auto Trader. Okay, it took Kepti and it took INS. Did it do that in Auto Trader? No, I guess it just took this one in Auto Trading. And why so few shorts or a few shares? Because the stop was really, really wide. This is coming back. This one really got kicked on Friday. It did have a bit of a resurgence. It did close actually $1 off the low, and now look at it, PTI. Of course, a lot of these ones we saw, these opportunities, funds, financial instruments, were just getting really slaughtered last week. Oh, I don't chase at all. So the answer is no. I just have to move on. Now look at this. Even only taking 55 shares, up $82, just on this rip of KPTI. So I think I'll just flatten out. This is why trading can drive you crazy. Why did it take all this time for it to do this? It did have news, though. It did have news, positive data for whatever drug they've got. This is not a virus play. I mean, the spread wasn't terrible either. I mean, it's only a 7 cent spread for a stock that has been, that it moved like that. So there you saw the auto trading the entry in action, with the KPTI. And now it just auto traded Wes on the entry. Now, understand, it would have taken these, had I had the auto trading turned on right from the beginning, it would have taken Wes at 1346 instead of wherever it took at 1360. Now, granted, it would have taken KPTI at 2445 early, but it would have got stopped out. Well, these two were just practice ones, so I'm going to get out of those two. I'll hang on to the ones that were auto traded. So again, why 278 shares? If you subtract the entry from the stop price, multiply by 278, you're going to get about $100. So that's why I took it right there. Okay, if this rally really continues, now this is an earnings play, WSC, but it may try to curl up here. Okay, keep an eye on NH here. All right, so these are the ones that did release their earnings after hours on Friday. Very rare, but it is trying to do something here. 39 million in the float. NH. There it is in the Momo up. Look at the volume that's coming into NH. This has a little bit of room too. I mean, if you look left on that daily chart, 275 is the next high looking left. Okay, I'll be back in a minute, guys. All right, guys. Well, how'd you like that NH? What a move. I'm going to keep looking at that ELA to see if it wants to move at all. It's still just sitting at that 3 level. You never know though, out of nowhere, we get some volume. So I have my alert set right here at around 305. So if we get some volume, like imagine we got a big volume bar like that coming in and just popping it up out of all this consolidation for ELA. I don't know what the heck is going on here. This probably was a symbol name change or something. This is back in 2016, so really don't know what's going on. Yeah, meanwhile, look at the SPY. It's just surging here, so it's going to help all these. So what else did I? So Luminex. So there's another one that was taken, auto trading, on the entry. Again, this is in the simulator. As long as the market keeps doing this. Guys were mentioning BME before. BIMI, nice one, curling up here. I thought maybe Paratech might take part in this resurgence, but nope. So you can see the stop is fairly tight for the LMNX. That's why I took 667 shares. Now, of course, I don't have to. All I have to do, if I don't like that stop, I can just, move it up. Right on the chart. Just move it up right on the chart. So now that stop price, it moves right there. All right, guys, so I'm going to take my break pretty soon, so I will get the announcement in. And before I do, I will put it in surf mode. So what's going to happen in surf mode is that it'll go through the top 3 symbols as I have them sorted in all my top list windows and start loading the charts, okay? And you can see the name of the top list window, evening scan shared as an example, okay? So, and as I say, it'll load the top 3 symbols in every top list. When I say top 3, when I look at my spiders, I have it sorted on where they are in relation to the day's range. But if I sort it on the 5-minute, this will change. Okay, you see how now it's SLV. So obviously, actually, it's interesting that silver and gold are on the run here a little bit. Anyway, so as I have them sorted, and if you want to stop or pause it for a bit, you just have to go to the chart. All right. You just have to go to the chart and it'll pause. Take a look at the chart. You want to trade it? Just trade it right from the chart. And once you back off the chart, it'll continue to surf. This is just a toggle on and off. If you don't see this, it's because your toolbar is not stretched out far enough. So just stretch it out and you'll see this. And if you click on an alert, it'll stop surfing. And I always say, why surf in the first place? Well, I mean, it is kind of a cool thing, depending how many topless windows you have up and running. Just let the system load charts for you. And all of a sudden you might see something you like. So instead of you're having to click like mad all day long, you just let the system load charts for you. Okay guys, so I'll see you at around 12:30.